G'day, and welcome to this week's episode of the Wildlife Trails. My name's Ranger Benny, and today I'm going to be introducing you to one of Gunbuy World's most popular animals, and that is our Alpine Dingoes. Why don't you head inside with me and I'll introduce you to the pack. So here with me now, I've got our three adult dingoes. We've got Yindi here, and she's the most common coloration of dingoes across Australia. So a lot of people are actually surprised to find out that not all dingoes live in the desert or up in the top end. These guys are up in the high country, and you can see by Yindi's beautiful thick double coat, that's what keeps her nice and warm. This gorgeous girl right here is Talara, and she's what we call a white dingo, and that coloration is really unique. They say that there's about a 1% chance out in the wild of coming up with this beautiful white coloration. Here at Gunbuy World, we've actually got 3 white dingoes. So lucky. Now Mungie, he's our alpha male in the pack. So Mungie is what we call a black and tan dingo, and there's around about a 4 or 5% chance of this coloration as well. So really unique to our Alpine Dingoes is that colour and those thick fur as well. So we've jumped across with our 2 young sisters, Nara and Kiara. And you can't talk special skills without talking about a dingo's flexibility. Come on, girls. These guys have the ability, don't you, to flip their heads around 180 degrees. So they can effectively look directly behind them, and even more impressive is them flipping their head back to look behind them. Pretty creepy to see, but so cool. So a dingo's life is going to begin in a place very similar to this one right here. Now this is known as a dingo den. And what's going to happen here is the dingo pack is going to set up around the area. They're going to have their puppies inside this dingo den. Nice and secure, really safe. Those pups are going to live there for a while, just feeding off mum and getting little scraps. But as they begin to grow, they're going to start joining the pack. And when the pack goes out hunting, they are formidable hunters. They can reach top speeds of around 50 kilometers an hour, and such is their stamina that they've been known to cover over 60 kilometers just in a single night of hunting. And that actually reminds me of a little bit of a fact that someone told me recently on what you need to do to stop a dingo from charging. And that is, of course, take away his credit card. Sorry, that's really bad. My kid's gonna hate that. So part of the work we do with our dingoes involves a little bit of training. And the reason we do that is for things like getting them across to our wildlife shows or for encounters with our guests, but also for things like a trip to the vet. So it's really handy that they can do some things on command. We're going to try a few little things here. They don't always listen to me, but let's see how we go. All right, you ready? Sit. Good girl. Want to drop? Oh, good girl. Another paw? Oh, good. And the other paw? Other paw? Oh, good girl. Here we go. Up. Oh, good. Target? Yes. Good girls. It's a work in progress, but we're getting somewhere. So it's not all about training for our dingoes. We also use their food for some enrichment time, because there's nothing a dingo likes better than hunting out a little bit of meat. One of my absolute favourite things to do here at Gunbuy is to get these guys out and about exploring in the park. And as you can see, they love it too. We've got a bit of a mission ahead of us today though, because we're trying to hunt down an absolute legend of the wildlife trails, Mr. Tony Hauer. He's worked at the park for decades. We're going to hunt him down and I'll introduce you. Yes, come on, man. we found him. Tony, how are you, mate?
How you going,
What are
mate?
you up to out here?
Just around checking the gum trees. There's a few swamp gums here that the koalas love to feed on.
Oh, absolutely. You're always a busy man, aren't you? So Tony's actually hand-raised these two. So it would be amiss of me not to invite you along for a bit of a dingo walk, mate. What do you reckon? You got time for that?
Oh, yeah.
Always time for a dingo
got
walk,
time,
isn't there?
definitely.
Fantastic. Well, I'm going to hand over Mungie because he's your man.
No worries.
Thanks for joining us on this episode of the Wildlife Trails with our awesome Alpine Dingoes. My name's Ranger Benny.
And I'm Old Man Emu.
And remember, keep your eagle eyes on and we'll see you next time on the Wildlife Trails.